This is verse 31 of the 5th chapter, Gospel of Matthew. We're still extending the discussion of the 7th commandment, thou shalt not commit adultery. Jesus has already forced the issue down deep inside to the level of motives, the unseen level at which lust can occur. And of course, Jesus indicates that even that represents a certain kind of commission of adultery. The command goes much deeper than people might have thought. And then another sort of footnote to it we find here at verse 31. So a Refae, this is from ereo, it means I speak. It's less common than lego and carries a little bit more weight with it, but the idea here is it has been said. So we have here the third person singular aorist passive indicative. It has been said. This is a little different from Jesus' earlier indication, which he said, you have heard it said, and that was tied to actual quotes from the Old Testament, which Jesus then forces deeper than maybe people had anticipated. It has been said would refer more to statements that might be commentary on the Old Testament, but don't necessarily rise to the level of a direct quote, and that, of course, is at least to some degree what's going on here. But the little bit of conjunction here, but it has been said, hos on, generally rendered as whoever. This on is short for eon. It takes the subjunctive, and we have the subjunctive here. So whoever, apoluse from apoluo, to release, to loose. Luo means to loose. Apoluo, to loose from, literally. And so it has the notion of releasing. It can be releasing a slave. It can be releasing a debt. It can stand for a variety of different contexts. In this case, releasing a wife. So that's the idea. So whoever releases, tain, the accusative, article, feminine, gunaika, the woman of him, autu, genitive, singular, masculine. Whoever releases the woman of him, and of course the sense in that case would be the idea of a divorce. So whoever releases the woman, doto. This is from didomi, give. This is the imperative, so it's the third person singular aorist active imperative. Let him give would be the idea. Auto, or aute actually, the feminine. Let him give to her, that is to this woman, now in the dative case, as the indirect object. The direct object is apostasion. This is from apo, from, and the stasation part of this is from istemi or histemi, means to stand. So stand from would be the literal sense of it. It stood idiomatically in the setting here for a document by which one was made to stand away from one's own interests or self, and it came to refer to a writing of divorcement, which was the notion. So it has been said, whoever divorces the wife of him, he should give her a legal document that solemnizes that. That really was a benefit for her, because it meant that she was then free from legal entanglements with her husband and free to remarry if the opportunity presented itself. So that was actually viewed, of course, in the Old Covenant situation as some sort of a benefit to the woman, but of course in the broader context it stood for the ease with which a divorce might be obtained, that a woman simply is dismissed from her husband by virtue of a written document, signed and notarized, that kind of thing, without much more legal entanglement to it. And Jesus, of course, is going to have a quite different perspective on the significance of such an action, as we'll see in the ensuing conversation.